Welcome to Passive Prospecting for Real Estate and Real Estate Agents. And yeah, another Wednesday afternoon. We're going to be doing some channel reviews and answering your questions as well. So again, that's why we're here, is to answer your questions. And I just came in here swinging at the last minute. What's up, Krissy?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going there?
It's going.
Major camera difficulty problems.
Oh, it's not like you to be late, so I figured it was something technical.
Yeah, I could, and I literally got it to work right on the dot to just swing in here super quick. But yeah, made some adjustments, found out, it's funny. This is the thing, is that the last two videos we put out, if you watch them, then on this channel, which was pro planning and how to get started. So how to get started on YouTube, and then also planning for the new year. You probably did not notice this, but you will notice it now because I'm bringing it up. And just to also prove the point that you don't have to be perfect to publish. So anyways, I got a really sweet setup here to go in, but no matter how many times you think you got things dialed in, every time I record, I'm always like, something, okay, I need to make some adjustment. Well, we recorded those two videos. For me, I was like, I think there's like a slight haze on the video. That was me. And I was telling Alex, our videographer, I was like, I'm just seeing a slight haze. It's not as clear. I mean, like right now, pretty clear, right? I think, and so I'm not seeing what I really want to see on the final product. But those are some good videos. The information was good. The editing was good. So I didn't want to have to redo that whole thing just because a slight clarity that probably only I am going to notice. And so I'm like, I'm going to publish it anyways. I thought we kind of had it fixed by the time I made the second video, but that wasn't the case either. And now it was... Alex came over today again. I was just like, he was like, well, you're just gonna have to record straight to the camera, because otherwise I usually record through OBS, which is, I'm either recording through OBS or Zoom, but for YouTube videos, making content, OBS is a little bit higher quality than Zoom. Zoom is not bad, but that was the case, is that I was looking at that and still just something was off. And Alex is always like, well, OBS is what a lot of creators use and you should get clear. He goes, but if you want the super clear picture, record straight to the camera and you download straight from the chip. Because anytime you have to process something through cables, which, if we go through OBS, which everything is plugged in right now. But I'm like, well, if I show up on a webcam like this or something and it's very, very clear, why can we not record in that same format? So, of course, you can lose resolution and things like that as things travel through cables. And then also, just to be plugged in, you need a what's called a cam link, which is an adapter. You can't just straight plug in USB from the camera. You got to have this cam link adapter for also transferring that high quality, 1080p or 4K. So that has to be plugged in. So anyways, the reason I don't want to record straight to the camera is because you got to reach back there, hit record. And with OBS on the software, actually, I'll pull it up and I can just show you guys what it looks like. How about that? Since we're here for educational purposes anyways. So I'll move this over to the side and then do a little share screen with you. Oh, let me make sure this blocks out messages and everything else I got going on over there. So yep, let me share screen 2. And you should, so that's OBS, that's the software. So whenever I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I can see my frame rate. I can test my microphone. Like if I don't say anything and I just tap on the microphone, I can make sure that that's working, but otherwise it's pretty clear. And that's what, if I just hit this little, this start recording button, what makes it really easy, it's just, I can hit record. And then whenever I hit stop recording, it downloads directly to my my desktop. And then I can just transfer that over into Google Drive, and editors take over from there. But I just felt like I was losing a little bit of quality on there. And, we just couldn't really get a finger on it. So Alex came over here a couple of days ago just to set me up and say, okay, well, we're going to set up a new cable. That way you can just hit record on the camera and then hit stop record. But then also I wanted it connected so I wouldn't have to pull the chip out, because pulling that chip out of that camera, especially when it's fixed, and it's next to the battery, because we got a hardwire battery in the camera as well. So we don't have to change out rechargeable batteries. We got a hardwire. You don't want to be popping that chip in and out. So we had to add an additional cable so I could just transfer straight from the camera onto the computer. So I was like, okay, so I recorded a video yesterday, to the camera, and sure enough, that quality was picture perfect, right? Super clear. And I thought, all right, well, inconvenience. Now all I need is a remote shutter. So if I don't want to sit back there and reach back and forth, I could have literally a remote shutter right here on my desk, and I could hit that button and it'll turn on the camera. So I ordered one of those, hadn't got it yet. But today, the thing is I've had this switcher, and, when we were, doing the podcast or having multiple people in there, kind of, you can see the, that's the soundboard right there on the back. It's not in use right now, but I leave it lit up because it looks cool. But then there is a little switchboard that I have right here, which can switch to 4 different cameras. So that's where I could switch to. We had a camera over here off to the side, but we've switched that to a vertical camera, but we don't need the switcher for that because we had to have that plugged in separately. There's the camera right behind me, right there. And so we had this over my shoulder look, which shows my big screen TV, but I still haven't used that yet. So we had 3 different cameras. Would make it easier. That switchboard, I could literally push a button, and it would switch over. Well, I've been leaving that on, basically since we put together this studio for the last couple of weeks. And the other day it overheated, so whenever I came on to record, I couldn't, it wasn't pulling up anything. I'm going, what's going on? Well, I had to literally, power that thing down, let it cool off, because it'd been running 24/7, and turn it back on. Well, this morning kind of did the same thing. And then I was just like, well, Alex was over here earlier, and I was just like, well, why don't we just disconnect it? And he's like, well, you're going to lose over the shoulder camera. And I'm like, well, I'm just not really using it right now anyways. I mean, it was a novel idea, but, I don't know, it's a lot of work. I'm usually focused on my content anyways. I mean, like switching back and forth kind of has a cool effect, but I'm not really sure it's necessary now either with the way we, edit videos or add in B-roll. I mean, you have enough changes. So I'm not really sure if camera angle change is really like a huge factor. Plus, now that we used one of the cameras set up vertically, it's just a lot easier to have that recording, which reminds me now, because I came in here at the last minute. I need to record on that one. So I have my reels. And so now I'll move this one over. And so what happens is that anytime I'm doing this, I think I showed kind of this setup the other day, but now that's on Zoom, and I can go here and I can switch. Yep. So there's the vertical camera. So I just switch like that, and I can hit record.
Recording in progress.
So now that's over on the side, and now it's just recording that side angle. And so I have that now. So switching that other camera that was here where I would normally switch angles, which again, I don't know if people really care that much to see the side of my head, in the same video. It's like, is that really that big of a deal that I switch over and you see the side of my head? I don't think so. I'd rather just record in real content. Although this frame right now can easily be cut to a reel, right there as a straight on shot. But anyways, I like to simplify things. I don't know. So for the editors, sometimes not to worry about that, but they can cut from this too, but it also gives them another option. So the point is, we just got rid of that switchboard. And then whenever I pulled up, OBS and everything, I was like, oh, the quality is super clear. And so what I realized was that switchboard was distorting the quality of the footage, plain and simple. So again, more devices, more cables, length. I mean, all that stuff does matter. If you have a 8-foot cord, your camera cord is plugged in way back on that other side, and you're trying to, all that stuff matters. So distance, connections, additional cords or things like that. So you want the least amount of cords, the least amount of length, whatever you can do. Like right now I'm hardwired for internet, because we learned our lessons on the first couple of lives that we did, which normally Wi-Fi worked fine in our office until we decided to do lives. Then all of a sudden it didn't want to work, during lives. So, all right. So fix in the hardwire. Now the cables are directly in there. And I just tested a video through OBS, which it's so much easier just to pull up that software and hit record on the computer. And then it downloads, blah, blah, blah. I don't have to worry about the camera. It was super clear, which is what we're looking for in the first place. So there you go. There's story of the day. Story of the day of that, even after doing this for a little while, still learning new stuff, experimenting, changing. And of course, anytime, we just finished, setting up this studio and that's it, you unconnect and reconnect and connect and connect. I mean, you're just, it's sometimes it takes a couple of videos to make sure it's all dialed in and perfect, but now I think we're good to go. But the point is that I still published those videos, even though I wasn't 100% happy with the quality, and it wasn't anything that we necessarily did wrong. We just didn't understand what we were watering down the feed basically with devices, and so, but otherwise you're looking at it going, well, everything's plugged in, everything's running, internet's good, okay, everything looks good. So is that what it is? And I just, I couldn't accept it. I was like, no, there's gotta be a solution. There's gotta be an answer. Okay, we'll record straight from the camera. Well, I don't like doing that because it's extra reaching and just leaning up. Now my videos start with like my stomach, on the camera because I'm up there reaching, trying to hit record, and so of course that would be edited out of there, but still, you sit down, it's just easier to get position and then I can hit record on the computer versus, okay, now I got to reach up there, come back down. Anyways, the YouTuber problems, right? YouTuber problems. So anyways, now I expect all of our content from this day forward to be absolutely perfect. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. All right. So let's see. What do we got today? What's going on? What's going on with you, Krissy? How are you?
I'm good. Just jumping into the new year and trying to get my voice back is all. So.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that don't know, Krissy's a Georgia fan, so try not to hold that against her.
Yeah, we had a good game against Ohio State on Saturday, and I lost what was left of my voice from my cold on Saturday night. So good times. But yeah, we've had quite a few questions in the group about B-roll and kind of your top tips for getting good B-roll, whether that be with like a drone or if they're just doing driving footage, kind of what your best practices are for getting quality B-roll.
Okay. Well, I wanted to look at real quick one channel. I think it's in our Facebook group. Did you see a link for Veronica?
Oh, yes. Living in Irvine, California is their channel.
Can you throw that in WhatsApp real quick?
Yeah, let me go find it.
That so I want to review her channel real quick, and then we can get into some Q&A as well. Let's see here. Happy New Year, everyone. What's up, David? Excited about the event today. Awesome. Cool. It was funny. We did our live last night for our real estate channel, and like the first 10 people on there were real estate agents. Yep. And all these living in channels. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Which is cool. Hey, come to the party. Absolutely. We actually had a lot of dialogue on that live last night. So kicking off the new year with the live, I think was a good call there. So what's up, Jim? Jim says, what camera do you use to record video? I'm on a Sony A6400 right now. So Sony A6400. So, okay, you got that link there. Let me pull that up. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to pull that over here real quick. Looking at B-roll. Okay. There we go. So Veronica got one short on here. Okay, so let's see. Living in Irvine, California. We got Veronica. Let's see. I know this comes from Veronica. Well, I mean, banner looks great. looks familiar. Looks good. Got a little city of Irvine in the background. Everything's easy to read. Got our Zoom linked hooked up there. Oh, Bruce. Okay, Bruce and Veronica.
Yeah, Bruce and Veronica. Yeah, they do it together.
30-minute meeting. So I might just one thing real quick. Again, I know she was asking specifically. I might just eliminate this step. You might want to just add this link into the channel. Okay, so add that link in there instead, because otherwise this is just an additional step that's not necessary. So clearly it states 30-minute meeting right there. I might change this to. They'll see when they schedule the call as 30 minutes, but I might schedule that to real estate consultation or real estate discovery call or something like that. Just something that's a little bit more branding versus 30-minute meeting. 30-minute meeting, I will say, maybe sounds a little bit cold. And so we want to say, clearly you've got your channel picture up here. I like that because that kind of associates with your brand. It is pretty small. So if there's a way, what you might want to do is crop this, because it looks like you used what we gave you for the channel banner, which is fine, but you can, that's the one thing about YouTube I don't get, right? Is they have so much dead space for uploading a banner. They give you these dimensions and you only use like 30% of what's on there. Even on TV, they say like this all of this is for TV, but any TV I've pulled the channel up on, it's still just that middle section, and it cuts off the right side, and so it doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's weird.
But anyways, I would say maybe just crop this picture out so that your the writing part fills up more of the screen, just to add a little bit more connection there. But you got Bruce's face in there. 30. I would just change this to real estate consultation or something like that. You got plenty of times on here, so that's not a problem. Yeah, so I probably just eliminate that one step right there. We look at videos. Let's see. I'm going to say, everything's super easy to read. Irvine's in Orange County, right?
I want to say yes.
Irvine, yeah, in Orange County, California. Yeah. So let me see. Irvine, yeah, it's so that would be one thing. Let me see. Is Veronica on here?
Yeah, she's in the chat.
That's Veronica Ruiz.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, that's okay. That's Veronica Clark.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. See, everyone's always throwing me off with all these name changes. Okay. So Veronica, I would say, let me know, are you trying to only hyper focus on Irvine, or do you work all of Orange County? So just because I will say that Orange County is a much larger search term.
They do most of their business in our conversations that we've had. They've done most of their business in Irvine, and they're really high ticket homes. So they like to focus on that luxury market.
Okay. So, okay. Well, if you want to hyper focus on Irvine, then she says all of Orange County. Okay. So that would be something that you might want to just consider. I want to see that. I want to check some stuff out here real quick. Actually, I'm going to pull up. I want to do this on an incognito window so it doesn't.
And that's another thing too, Veronica, we might want to revisit and just say how far out into Orange County that you're doing. Because when we last spoke, I thought we were kind of talking about you doing mostly Irvine, and then you kind of do some stuff outside of it, but maybe I misunderstood that too, because we could add some extra keywords if that's the case.
OC. See, this is something that
I will say with Orange County, though, there is a lot more competition for it. And so it might be better to use as a secondary keyword since Irvine.
Yeah, what I'm looking at is different variations like the OC. The thing is that I've always defaulted, and I don't think anybody's ever taken me up on this as far as naming their channel the OC, just because the OC of that TV show, which is clearly, you don't want to get looped in there, but you see how much is around the OC, and versus Orange County. Yeah, Orange County could definitely be a search term that goes, or a secondary keyword in there. But I'm just thinking of a channel name. And again, kind of like what we talked about yesterday. I'm not sure if that's the biggest thing, but I do think with named Irvine, California, then you got Laguna Niguel in here. You got brand new homes. So let's see.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking back to that conversation, I think we did talk about that in your kickoff call, Veronica, where we were saying that we didn't want to associate it with the wrong thing, and relevancy was an issue with Orange County as a keyword. But yeah, I don't think there'd be any harm in putting that in as a secondary keyword. For sure. We could definitely add that to your mix.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that, we got California homes, which is extremely, I would say, broad. Laguna Niguel, I don't know. This other keyword may need to be like Orange County related. Something that I would think
might be a good A/B test to try too.
Yeah, we should start doing we need to do some A/B testing on some titles here. Because otherwise, yeah, Laguna Niguel. So we got a lot of focus on Laguna Niguel. Let's just look at one real quick. So let me see. Everything's pretty textbook. Let me see. We don't have any playlist on the main channel. So that's another thing we want to look at, is that, if we go to playlist, we have playlist in here, but none of them are visible on the home channel. So it kind of makes this channel look a little bare.
Yeah, we need to do some rearranging on their homepage for sure.
Yeah, we need to add or max out the playlist, because they have, they've got Orange County, they got Laguna Niguel. I just don't think a lot of people click over to playlist. They're always going to mostly default to the homepage.
Yep.
So we want to put the most relevant playlist, which would be like Orange County, Laguna Niguel. What do you have the most videos on? Irvine, California. That should even be a playlist. You've got, it looks like about 3, other than Irvine. You've knocked out Irvine. If you've got 30 videos on Irvine, that's quite a bit, but it looks like everything else has 3. So I would go back and say, okay, so Irvine, so we got some traction on Irvine there. Shady Canyon in Irvine, got a little traction there. Santa Ana, some of the traction there. Orchard Hills. So it looks like some of your neighborhood videos in Irvine. I like these. These are really nice pictures. Something, these, it looks like these aerial shots. Maybe these drone shots are drawing some attention there, and Irvine in there. So, just looking at that, let's look at pros and cons. How long was that? Was that 6 seconds? Yeah, it was about 6, 7 seconds. I mean, it's good. It's a right about So one thing real quick I just consider is maybe moving that. That's when you talk about other videos, maybe more towards the middle or the end. If you notice, if you watch any of our videos, I usually incorporate those well down the road. So right here, even though this is the most popular video, I would just probably recommend moving that stuff. And I'm not sure if, and this may be the only video you do that in, but otherwise, we do want to get into information as quickly as possible. So something just to consider there before you start distracting as well to other videos, because maybe somebody says, oh, well, Shady Canyon, I'm going to go check that one out. And if they jump off this video very quickly, yes, maybe they're more interested in Shady Canyon, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to distract attention immediately. So that's just something more. Whenever I'm in a video, it's usually the midpoint or closer to the end whenever I start mentioning maybe a surrounding suburb or something, and then we'll pop up videos on that. But people are usually engaged and with that video to where they want to finish it, and it's almost more like okay, well, I'm going to go check out that other video over there. So that might be something just to keep in mind on future videos on there. Oh, and I just noticed this too. Again, I think we probably want to nail this down to Orange County. Focus into Orange County there as well, and start incorporating that. And so versus California, I think we're going a little too broad on there. I mean, we got plenty of descriptions. I mean, we have all the SEO in there.
Yeah, we'll do some A/B tests with Orange County in the title and see how that does.
Yeah, and let's switch everything to 2023 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, yes, this was filmed back in July, but hey, it's okay.
Yep.
Go back.
Time for a yearly update.
I want to see. Actually, I just tested this on our channel. I'm going to see if it does. What I don't know is if the bulk. Let me see. I'm going to pull over this our channel real quick. I don't know if the bulk does titles. Well, I guess it does do titles. Wait, let me see. Yeah,
I believe it does.
Okay, because I just did a bulk change.
Yeah, it's fairly simple to switch out.
And I didn't know if it included titles. Let's see, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023. Yep, it does change titles.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something. Let me see. When we go into, so what we're talking about here is when we go into Studio and we go to content, this should pop up. They see it popped up right there. And let me zoom in for people. So this bulk and miscellaneous tools, this is why it's important to have the Legend license on TubeBuddy. And we have a link below in the description that you can get it. But this key thing, this is probably one of my favorite things on TubeBuddy, is the find and replace text. So what I did is this morning is I went in there and you can type in 2023 and you could say, oh, I want to replace everything with 2024. And so what it does is it'll find everything in your descriptions, titles, everything that has 2023 and 2024. And if I hit continue, I want to search a full list of all my videos. Yep. So if I hit continue, I mean, it's going through 340 videos right now. And look at that. It just that quickly pulled up every video with 2023 in the title, you know, and then all I have to do is I can click all. If I click all, it gives me 91 that have that in the title, and I can hit continue and then save, and it'll switch out 2023 with 2024, which this morning I did 2022 and switched it all out to 2023, and it was done. What I didn't know is I wasn't sure if it did titles or not, but it looks like it changed it out for all the titles. So yeah, I would update those. I would start moving towards Orange County. Orange County is just a much larger, you know, if we go in here, this is what I would look at. We want a keyword explorer. Let's go down in here and say living in, I'm just curious, Irvine. Yep, okay, Irvine, California. If I just look at that, okay, 4,000 searches per month. So it's very niched, you know, very niched in. So let's go with Orange County. I already know this is going to be probably massive. That can't be right. 250. No way. Okay, well, let's look at Orange County. Well, maybe people aren't typing in living in Orange County. Let's look at Orange County, California. Okay, insufficient. Orange County living. See, this is just where you got to test out different stuff, see what's going on. 460. Interesting. Okay, now watch this. Let's see the OC. $2.6 million. What did I, okay, all right. What did I say earlier? Now, this is the thing. This is where you look at, you got to think about what are people searching for? This is what I've always said it. Now, I mean, that's huge. 2.6 million compared to 4,000 searches of Irvine, California, compared to living in Orange County. I still think living in Orange County, I think that's low. But still, I don't see searches of 2.6 million anywhere. And I would tell you that I believe Orange County is probably the most well-known county in the USA. Otherwise, counties are usually have terrible search results. Yes.
You do have the problem, though. I believe there's an Orange County in Florida too, though. So that can confuse things too. And the OC is based on a TV show too. So I'm sure that's where a chunk of that traffic is coming from. So relevancy is definitely a problem with that keyword.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all on the show. I mean, you look at the results, it's all the show. But again,
I think incorporating it as a secondary keyword and a tag in their channel, though, is not a bad thing at all. Capture that traffic.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little torn on it. I don't know. I mean, it's always been my gut instinct because I've talked to several people in Orange County, and I've always said, man, I just think that the OC might be a good channel name. You know, maybe, I don't know, just for, I would just be curious to see what would happen. But
definitely. Well, I think that's the beauty of A/B testing too. Give that a shot and see how they perform.
Yeah. But when I say, Orange County, I mean, I think a majority of the search is going to go, I'm overloading the system now, is going to default to California. So let's see. Orange County living, did we check that one out? I think so.
I think we looked at that one already, and there was insufficient data on that one.
Okay, Orange County.
You can do Orange County, CA.
Well, let's look at Orange County real estate. I mean, 17.5 thousand searches. So again, this is something else too that I would. You got to think about Orange County as well. Now, think about us on top of that. Living in Dallas, we are a huge relocation market. We're seeing a lot of people, search that information. You got to think about Orange County. What are people searching for exactly? And not a lot of people from Texas or New York are, probably researching relocating to Orange County, in reverse. So these are the types of things you got to think about. Now, I do know that most relocation to Orange County is going to be probably from San Francisco and LA, where people are kind of tired and burnt out and tired of what's going on there. But you got to think about what are people in California thinking about? They've probably been to the OC many, many times. So they may not be searching living in the OC, right? They may be searching, I wonder if there's anything about Orange County real estate that I can kind of research on YouTube or see some, listing videos or some neighborhood videos. So this, and clearly the search volume is showing us that more people are searching Orange County real estate than they are living. And you see what I mean? So just thinking about that type of psychology of your client that's looking for information. Yeah. And you got to think about too, people are not going to take the time to type in California. That has a lower search volume. And I would be okay. Yeah, I mean, this is the highest search. I would be okay naming a channel Orange County. I would be okay naming it Dallas, Texas real estate, but the reason we went, let's look at living in Dallas, Texas. We'll just see if we still even have the best search term. Okay, 8.6K. Let's look. Maybe we may need to switch. Dallas, Texas real estate. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I mean, I think, initially when we did our search, living in Dallas, Texas was the top search term versus really anything else.
Well, and the other thing you have to look at too is just the short tail keyword.
Yeah.
This is kind of what I would consider a medium tail keyword. Living in Dallas, Texas is kind of mid-length. But Dallas, Texas is what we're actually targeting. Yeah,
1.43. Yeah, clearly that's what we're going for. But living in Dallas, Texas was better than other things we looked at as far as naming it. We didn't want to just name the channel Dallas, Texas. And let's look at Orange County. And that's 1.74 million. So I don't know.
You'd have to probably put it up against Irvine, California too.
Yeah,
we did living in
Irvine.
Just Irvine, California by itself, and then Irvine, California real estate.
Yeah, nothing there. Yep. So that would be something I would highly consider. I mean, actually, I wouldn't even highly consider it. If it were me and my channel, I would go to Orange County.
Have we looked at Irvine, California though, as far as it's just by itself as a short tail?
I think we did, but
yeah.
Well, that's a lot. 450.
I think this is initially why we went with this one. Just because the short tail keyword is what we're really targeting on that. And living in is a bonus keyword because it's long tail.
But Orange County is, what was it, 2.6? Oh, 1.74.
Very poor because of the competition being so high.
Yeah. But I think it still gives you, let's see what's in the results. The wealthiest neighborhoods, Nick Johnson. I mean, that's an ugly thumbnail.
Yeah, we could easily rank for that keyword, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I say let's A/B test Orange County in the title and see how that goes. And if we start getting more hits, then we can explore the possibility of adding or exchanging title names.
Yeah.
But I think we start small and work our way up without making any drastic changes. But I think Orange County real estate is a great keyword to add to the mix.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to note too. I think, once you've had your keyword or you've optimized your channel, you've gone through your videos, you've been kind of doing the same thing. Once you kind of feel like you're in a flow of things and you've been doing something for 3 to 6 months, it's always good to go in and do some extra keyword research because keyword research is going to change. Results are going to change. And I apologize, of course, as soon as I get on a live, my dogs start barking in the background. But I think it's always important to think of your channel as a dynamic asset that you're always looking for something new because it's not always going to stay the same. You need to kind of treat it more dynamic than just setting it and forgetting it, if you will.
Yep. And you want to look at, okay, pros and cons of Irvine. That worked out. So we got pros and cons of Huntington. Yeah, we need to flip-flop these A/B test and just see what we can get on a better. And the other thing is too, I just think about too, I mean, I think you've got a huge advantage being in Orange County. So you could make these videos outside. I mean, you pretty much have year-round perfect weather. You've got the beach. You got different areas. And so even though you do a vlog tour of Huntington Beach, you can only show so much on a vlog tour of Huntington Beach. Go to another section and do pros and cons of Huntington Beach. And maybe even go to some of the spots where if cons is homelessness or something like that, maybe you go to an area. I mean, you don't want to put anybody on camera, but if there's tents or things like that, I know Orange County is a lot better than LA. So they do a better job of that. But, if there's like one street that's a little overloaded with tents or something, you just do a quick 2 to 3 second shot, and that's the other thing, going back to B-roll, one of the original questions, Krissy brought up there at the beginning was, this is something when you're out and about. I mean, you should be looking for 2 to 5 second clips everywhere you go, and everything you're doing, because that breaks it up. And so if you're going to do a pros and cons, and it were me, I would probably not be doing a ton of office videos. I'd be doing more like 80% outside videos, even with pros and cons. Now, a map video, yes, I would probably definitely reserve those for the office, just because you're going to get on a screen share and go through that. But you can do pros and cons. You can do pros and cons outside, just because we talk about it or, reference that or doing that in an office. I think you've got the advantage, a much larger advantage than we do in Dallas to do that. Now, I could do that as well. I could go around and go to maybe some of the different lakes and things like that to do some pros and cons. So, it's just something to keep in mind. But I also know, time is of the essence, but at the same time, that and maybe start out in the beginning too, have a call to action for comments and, let me know. By the way, comment below. Let me know, after you give your first or second pro, you could always say too, hey, let me know in the comments below what you think is a good pro of of Huntington Beach, especially if I missed one. You know, if you give people a reason to call you out sometimes, then you can strike engagement there as well. So that would be something to keep in mind. So somewhere in there, and I'm not saying you haven't done that. I haven't watched the entire video, but we could also test Huntington Beach, you know, pros and cons, kind of flip-flop some of this stuff, go back and look at some of these. We want to update all these to 2023. And otherwise, you know, I love these beach. Oh, well, look, here you are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, those were kind of his earlier videos. We talked about that, and he's started to do those outside, which are way more engaging. So,
yeah. Okay, cool.
Go Bruce.
And it looks like you're staying put. So also feel free to do it kind of like vlog style, like walking around. And if you're walking around, it gives people, here, let me show you one guy. Who I like. I've had several conversations with Michael, but look at Michael, 57,000 subs, and almost all of his videos are walking around. Every single, I mean, yep. I mean, pretty much every single, let me blow this up a little bit. Every single video, he's out walking in Florida. Even if it's just in a neighborhood, walking, look at that, walking. Look, he looks the same, has the same sunglasses, different tank tops, like 250,000 views. He does some office videos, but yeah, super cool dude. And I mean, you'll notice now recently he's pretty much all outside because he's in Florida, you know, pretty much good weather around there. And he's just in different spots every single time, but he's talking about, and look what he's talking about, economic collapse, boom or bust. You know, he's talking about all these things, but, you know, walking along the water there, loan denied, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I like that sign. That's a good one. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. I mean, but he gets a ton of views, and he's just walking around talking about it. So he definitely has structure to his videos. He knows what he's doing. And I mean, look at this, walking around. So it doesn't even look like he's doing office videos anymore. He's like, I'm going to go for my daily walk and I'm going to talk about real estate. So, you know, that would just be something I would say, absolutely take advantage of being in Orange County. I mean, it's just, you know, Dallas, for me, Dallas is so huge, and you know, it's just mostly city. But, you know, now that I even talk about it, makes me think I could probably do things a little bit differently as well. But you know, everything looks in alignment there. And let's see. Okay, so that's one thing we always talk about too. Is I would change that from when we post a new video to so you're the first to know about the current market in Orange County, because that's a value-driven statement. It gives people a reason to subscribe. But otherwise, if this is their first time, they're like, okay, a new video, that's great, but I don't even know if I'm interested in watching a new video by you. Nothing against you, but this is what we always instruct everyone. That's why we always say, you know, subscribe. So you're the first to know about the current market in Dallas. It gives people like a little insider feel, like they're, it makes me feel really, really good, you know, and I want to be the first to know. I want to be the first to know about the current market. Plus things are changing right now. You know, that's the thing, is you want to keep them coming back, because they feel like they're getting updates. I like that font and that text right there. That blue is a little bit more oceany, so maybe, you know, could do some test with some thumbnails too. But, you know, and I would take advantage of as well of beaches. You know, I would just say that I'd probably go, I know Laguna Niguel, as far as I know, has nice beaches. So I think that's right? Laguna Beach. Where's Laguna Niguel? Oh, right there. Oh, yeah. So there, I click on that and it's got some nice, I assume that, yeah, I think most of that is mountains over there. So you got good beach views. So I would just take advantage of beach thumbnails as much as possible. I think that's probably going to be more on our end, Krissy. So, like this one, Orchard Hills. Not sure where Orchard Hills is, but that home's a little covered up. So we might just want to look at pulling some better aerial shots with more beach in there. And even like this veterans ones, I know there's a mall. I think there's a mall or something in Irvine, California. It has a huge flagpole, and then it's overlooking the beach. Just be kind of a cool option. But still, I do like that thumbnail because the flag in there. So VA loans, that should be good. I might want to look at including benefits somewhere in there. I think, veterans benefits, that's one of our better performing videos, but I think we want to, like the benefits of a VA loan or something, or benefits for veterans in California, just something that kind of speaks a little bit more incentive in there as well. Be something to keep in mind. So, all right, well, that's pretty extensive, I would say. I think we've got some things we can help y'all out with, and then I think that Bruce and Veronica, I think you guys got a couple of things maybe if you can work on there as well. And I don't see why. I mean, I guess Bruce makes every video. I don't know if I saw. Well, I think there's Veronica.
Yeah, Veronica just barely started getting videos on her
Okay.
end. She had just got her license renewed, I guess.
Okay, cool. And something to keep in mind, I tend to just walk by homes versus stand out in front of them just for personal preference. I prefer to just kind of walk slowly by it, and the viewer will get a good shot of it. But that way, just for me, I just prefer not to stand in front of homes just because I want somebody coming out and hitting me with a broomstick or something, But I would probably keep walking a little bit, kind of stay put there the whole time. So yeah, I'd probably change that up. Oh, you jump back and forth. Okay. So you jump back and forth to looking at some listings online. I do like that. I think that's good. So yeah, without digging directly into the videos, I think the content from what I can see is good. There's just some tweaks, and things that I'm going to take a look at. So, and we probably maybe need to double check. Optimization on here, but it should be good. So, okay. So I think that should help out. Let me know if that helps out, Veronica. LOL. Yeah. Maybe she's laughing at staying directly in front of the house a little bit. And I don't know, you just think about, let's try broadening that a little bit, because Irvine is going to be just extremely niched in. And if you do work Orange County, which clearly you're covering these other areas, then I think that's just going to give a broader appeal on there as well. And we need to add those playlists on the main screen, and we can handle that, right, Krissy?
Oh yeah, we got it.
So let's work on that, and let's keep an eye out over the next couple of weeks, see how that does. So hopefully, let me know if that helps out, Veronica. Let's see. Oh, Bruce, I'm just now going through. When you use a Sony camera, hey Susie, do Do you still look at the lens? I see a lot of Caddy Buddy videos. My current channel. So I need to have it evolve. I just started with you. Awesome. What is Caddy Buddy? Do you know what Caddy Buddy is?
No idea what that is.
Tell me, Susie, what's a Caddy Buddy video? I'm not familiar with that, but yeah, so here's the deal. This is where, here I'm looking at Krissy and I'm looking at your screen. So I'm looking down, I'm not making eye contact. So anytime that I stare up and I look directly at the lens, I'm making eye contact, which, is a trained procedure, I will say. It's what I do. I typically will, whenever I'm talking to somebody, instead of looking at them, like I could talk to Krissy right now and I'm looking at her, but the thing is that she's not making eye contact with me because I'm looking down. So even though she's down here on my screen, I'm still going to look up. And if I'm addressing Krissy, I'm going to say, hey, Krissy, this is something we need to work on. We can help out. We can do that, and now Krissy is going to feel more of a connection to me because I'm staring at a camera, but I'm actually staring at her, even though she's down there. But I think that's where a lot of people, I think it's where they lose connection on trainings and things like that. So think about that when you're on Zooms as well. When you're on Zooms with clients, I don't stare at the client on the screen. I look at the camera because that just locks in the client even more because they're just like, man, he's just straight talking to me, so, yep. Okay. I think we going through all of these. Sounds good. Yeah. Competition is much higher. Let's see. There are some OC channels. Okay. Yeah. We got 3 vlog pros and cons map video. Yep. Live in Irvine, OC. I don't know. I don't know if that's something that people would search. Then I just don't know if they put Irvine, OC. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it says insufficient.
Yeah.
It says there's no competition, so I don't think there's probably no videos with that title. But yeah, I mean, you just got to put in different words and. What's up, David? Are we supposed to be able to hear the video on our end? Oh, I don't know.
As far as Bruce's video, yeah, I don't think so. But it wasn't really easy to hear on my end either.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, great for changing the phone number. Yeah, absolutely. So, we had our phone number in our YouTube channel, is also on our Google business profile page. Well, we started to run LSA ads. We started to run that as well at the end of this last year. And we just really wanted to easily tell the difference between a YouTube lead and an LSA ad. LSA is local service ad. So that means when somebody would search on Google, best realtor near me or something like that, it would pop up our Google business profile. So we don't want to change things on Google because that's a pain in the butt, and you risk them suspending your account, like any little thing, and they'll be happy to suspend your account for weeks, if not forever. So, we didn't want to change the phone number on the Google page. So we're like, well, it's just easier to change the phone number in the YouTube, all the descriptions, and simply exactly that, Veronica. I went on in the bulk tools, put in the old phone number, replace it with the new phone number, and that was done. That's simple. Oh yeah, they have the handle living in Irvine, California. Oh, okay. Well, you can change your handle. So you might want to see if you could see if Orange County real estate is available. If that's something, I mean, I would just consider it. The thing is that Irvine, California, we do see very solid search results for that. But I just wonder if it makes people think initially, especially until we have the playlist up there, if they're thinking, oh, well, because if they find that channel or they search Irvine, California, they may not necessarily see the other playlist. So they may think you're just super niched into Irvine. They're like, oh, well, I'm actually looking in Laguna Niguel or something like that. I mean, just a thought, but again, we want to eliminate any obstacles, you could say, for people, because we always want to optimize, and we want to market to the lowest common denominator. because you'd be surprised how easy it is for someone to not find something immediately and get frustrated and jump. So let's up Shreveport. I learn something new each time I get a chance to catch these coaching. Cool. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. That's why we do them. Yes.
Yep.
We do make them outside now. Bruce does not like doing the videos inside. Okay, even better. So therefore, yeah, he wants to be out and about. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If I was in Orange County, I'd pretty much live outside. Right now, like here in Dallas, it's like 30 in the morning, and then it's like 60 in the afternoon. It's like I'm putting on cold weather parkas and snow gear in the morning, and then in the afternoon I'm like stripping down, and it's just all over the place. But let's see, Tom's Texas Realty. When y'all choose 3 neighborhoods for a vlog, do you research the neighborhoods? Is there search weight to the section titles of a YouTube video? I think so, yeah. I mean, we definitely research areas. You research the neighborhoods.
I think he's talking more about keyword research before you make titles.
Oh, well.
Yes. That's part of what determines our content. Our content is always based on what is ranking.
Yeah.
And what's pulling traffic. That's usually what drives us to do a video in the first place. So.
Yep. All right. Veronica says, thank you. Let's see. Okay. Art. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
And I answered you in the comments. Art, we'll take a look at that.
Okay. Really appreciate your time, guys. Yep. This was great. Cool. So, all right, good. So Veronica found some value there. That's good. And, it is a camera that enables you to look straight at the lens using mirrors. It is sold by some YouTubers.
Interesting.
Look straight at the lens. Oh, I guess you get a direct.
Yeah.
You get a mirrored reflection of yourself. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine has the screen flipped up on the back, so I can tell I know I'm framed up, and clearly I can see I'm framed up right here. But I don't know. I don't like mirrors because it makes everything backwards. And so, unless you can switch that, if you can switch it, then.
I think do what works for you, though. If it makes you feel more comfortable on camera and gets you excited about going out and doing videos, then win-win.
Yep. Oh, there's Bruce. Hey, Bruce. There you go. Yep. Looking forward to more A/B testing title changes. Yep. We'll get to work on that.
Yep.
Did 3 videos with ocean views. Didn't want to overload the viewer with ocean videos. Man, I don't know. I think maybe so. You got to overwhelm them so to where they're like, man, I got to get back to that ocean. I got to live in that ocean. I saw some study the other day. They said that humans are not supposed to go more than 3 or 4 days or something without seeing water or something like that, like a body of water. There's just a connection to that. I think it's probably the same with mountains. I think that's why in Dallas I struggle with no mountains or beaches. So, which is why I like living down here close to White Rock Lake, because that's something that's one of my favorite things to do on the weekend is go bike around the lake. And it's just because just something calming, soothing. I mean, we all know it, right? That's why we love the beach. So, Susie is talking about a teleprompter. Okay, yeah, gotcha. All right. So, I mean, the only thing we've used teleprompting for is a direct script. We've tested that out. I mean, I've used it before. It's funny to try to get down the timing, but otherwise I don't use it ever. I never use, just because I know my points. I just need bullet points written down to the side and I'm good. I can talk through that stuff. Do you have any recommendations on books or other resources to become a better speaker, such as less ums, better cadence, and become more engaging? Let me see. I know for myself, that is something I'm triggered now in my brain. And I just said, but I'm triggered in my brain. I think now I'm a little bit more casual with it, but you definitely will not hear me say like. That is one of my pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is the like word. Just not a big fan of it, especially when people say like every other word. So it was one of those things where I trained myself not to say like, and I will hear myself about to say it because you hear it so much coming from other people that I will catch myself about to say it and literally try to flip to a different word at the same time in my brain. Yes, that actually happens in my brain. I think about those types of things. So for that, I think during speeches, whenever I'm speaking on stage, it's usually very rehearsed. I've done it several times. I've gone through those motions, and usually I'll speed up my cadence on stage as well, because you want to keep people's attention. And if you start talking a little bit fast, I will start talking faster, because that typically forces people to pay attention. They're like, oh, wait. And then if you say a really good nugget, they're going to be like, oh, that's a good nugget. And then they're going to write it down. They're going to be like, oh, that was another really good nugget. And then they're kind of scrambling. And I think that really gives people a sense of, man, that was so good. It was so fast. I didn't get everything down, and but they feel like they get value. So yeah, I don't know direct. There's I think Speak to Sell. Speak to Sell is a book I just went through recently, but I would just go onto Audible or Amazon. You could easily type in your public speaking books. Audible, you could go on there as well. YouTube, you could go on YouTube. Clearly, be a better public speaker. Just search that. You're going to have plenty of options there. It'll be interesting. People will talk about it, but ultimately, it's the old hook, story, offer. I just saw something by Russell Brunson yesterday. He was talking about you should spend 75% of your speech on your story and then 25% of what you actually do. So, I was on a podcast this morning and they were talking about that as well. They were saying that they mentioned Russell Brunson as well. And they said he did that whole split test to where he's very analytical and technical and, a funnel guy and data and analytics. And he would do 75% data and analytics or 80 or 90 and typically no stories or anything like that. And as soon as they switched to 75% story and 25% analytical, then their conversion rates shot through the roof. On top of that, we've worked with Pete Vargas, who's probably the number one speakers coach. I mean, he works with Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Michael Hyatt, a lot of big name players in public speaking. And I was at an event a couple of months ago where he was speaking at as well. And, he said that 70% of your audience is I forgot which term he used, but the other 30% are analytical, like analytical engineer. So, but the 70% respond to story. So he said, if you tell all story during a speech, you're going to lose 30% of your audience with analytical. And if you give stats and data and analytics, you're going to lose 70% of your audience. So the best speaking, stage talks, public speaking, things like that, combine story and stats and data. So anyways, there's my 5-minute masterclass on.
Well, and one thing that I would say too is, and this is a great tip, just in general, but if you find that you're kind of falling into that, the ums and the ahs and the likes, you're saying that a lot. A great tip that I've heard in the past from some top speakers is the power of the pause. If you feel like you're about to say that, pause, and it actually adds quite a bit to your speech. It adds impact, and it gives you a chance to think of it helps your audience think about what you're saying, and it helps you consider what you're going to say next. So that's a good option. And then I would also say I would speak how you write. And so anytime that you're reading like a copywriting book or something along those lines and creating more powerful copy, that's going to transfer very easily over into speaking as well. Because ultimately, if you're writing the way that you speak and vice versa, that's going to translate really well in terms of, selling and making your point known.
Yep. And that's why you'll see on our neighborhood videos and stuff, why we talk about the neighborhoods and stories and experiences majority, and it's very little real estate stats and data. Let's see. Bruce said 14 to 50 million, so they're easy to record at. Is that?
Oh, he's talking about the ocean properties, I think.
Oh.
I think that's when you were talking about that when he typed that.
Yeah, I would work on finding some custom builders as well. You know, Bruce, I would try to find as many custom builders as possible that are finishing homes, staging them. I mean, if you start putting some multi-million-dollar property tours on your channel, that's going to help out as well. And usually the easiest way to do that is with custom builders, because especially if they haven't sold that property yet, but also if they have sold the property, and a lot of those high-end homes, 14 to 15 million, at least what I'm seeing on the TV shows, they're going to stage those properties, you know, and that way, if you can get in there before escrow closes or before the paperwork signed and that custom builder says, yeah, come in and tour the property, film it, put it on your channel, make sure you mention my company, blah, blah, blah. I would really start working on some of those, you know, finding some of those 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, $15 million properties. I mean, those would really, really do well on the channel too. So if you can get in there with some custom builders, then I would definitely work on doing that. So, okay, well, we got to run. So, all right, jam-packed. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you go to passiveprospecting.com. Is that on my, passiveprospecting.com, and get notified whenever we release our book, Passive Prospecting. That will be coming out hopefully by next month. I just inquired about an update today. So we'll see, keep you guys up to date on that, but super excited for that. It's going to be awesome. And you want to be the first to be notified when we release that book. And we'll probably run something special, you know, for those that do. And so anyways, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.